In the last video, we saw how one relationship came to an end, but also learnt how single life has its benefits. This time we explore how dates differ in lockdown, how one relationship flourished, and how a long-term one coped. Welcome to the final part of Dating in Lockdown.
Hi, I'm Ellie and I've been with my boyfriend for over 3 years now, and I'm going to be speaking about my experience in lockdown. So lockdown was obviously quite difficult because we went from spending so much time together to spending no time together other than a few texts and FaceTimes and calls. So we were separated from March when obviously lockdown began. So we left uni, went back home to isolate until May when restrictions began to lift. So this was the longest time we've ever spent apart because we go to the same university, so we obviously see each other quite a lot, like during the week and on the weekends and everything. So other than like a 2-week holiday, this is the longest we spent. So we spent a lot of the time on like calls, or we'd like watch the same movie on like Netflix party, or we did like baking together over FaceTime where we'd bake the same thing. Yeah, just try different like quizzes, activities. So yeah, I did test relationships. Obviously communication is very compromised over the screen rather in person, so you get very like agitated with each other. It's very stressful, like you're so bored all the time, you have nothing else to do. Yeah, thank you.
Welcome everyone to this second episode of Lockdown Live. So today we're joined by Francis and Olivia, who are in a relationship. How long have you guys been dating?
Just over 2 years.
Yeah.
So a long time then.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how did you meet?
College,
yeah. We were friends for like 2 years, and then at the end he asked me to be his girlfriend.
Very sweet. And how did you guys find lockdown in general?
I don't know. It was quite.
I would say it was hard, and it was like challenging, but at the same time it was a little bit rewarding at the same time, because I think it made you realize, like, kind of the old saying, you don't realize what you've got till it's gone. So like being stuck at home alone and not being able to see the person as much, I think it really did make you appreciate what you do have. But yeah, it was difficult.
Yeah.
And was that the longest, I presume, did you guys live apart during lockdown?
Yeah.
So was that the longest you two had been separated?
Yeah, definitely. Like the longest before would probably be like 2 weeks max. So not seeing it for like 4 months was just very weird.
Yeah.
And did you guys come up with any ways to like keep the spark alive, or was it challenging at times?
I don't know. I feel like we're quite like, we tell each other like everything. So I think we just speak a lot anyway. And like we made sure we like FaceTimed quite a lot. But I do feel like there was a time when I was a bit like, oh my God, like I feel like I should be talking to him more. Or like, oh my God, I feel like we should be texting each other more. But it's like, in reality, it's like, you don't have to. Also,
it's like when you've both woke up, had lunch, had a shower, and that's all you've done, then there's not much to talk about.
It's like, it's just so repetitive, and it's also trying to give them that space and not like
be overwhelming.
Be really overwhelming, yeah. But I feel like we did find quite a good balance.
Yeah, that's the main thing, I guess, is finding the balance. Someone else I spoke to, they said that they struggled with talking about things with their partner. Like usually you'd have 2 separate lives, and at the end of the day you can chat about it, but they literally just said they woke up and like that's all they could have to talk about.
Yeah.
Did you guys find like any fun ways to, did you do like any games or just stuff like that to...
We did a couple, like when House Party came out and they had the Pictionary game and stuff like that. We did a few of them, but
yeah, that was like right at the beginning. But I don't know, I just feel like we made it work, and like we're, as much as like we love each other's company, I think we're quite good at just being alone. And I think it's just the fact like we always knew that we were there for each other. So it's like we didn't really need to be on top of each other all the time. But yeah, I just feel like we made it work. But there was definitely some times when I was like questioning it, and I was like, oh my god, like how long is it going to be until I next see him? But yeah, I think we made it work.
Would you say it put your like relationship to the test then?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like we've never had that before, and it's been nice. Well, I think because we were friends for such a long time before, it's like we have that friendship before anything else. So it's kind of, I think that's what kind of helps us.
And I think where other things would put you to the test is in if one of you's gone away to do something, I think you get that element as a couple of being not jealous, but upset that you're not sharing a moment. But I think with lockdown, it was the fact that no one was going anywhere. So I think it was it wasn't as hard as it would be, say, your partner's gone on like a trip somewhere or is working abroad or doing something because you feel like they're moving with their life and you want to be a part of it. But I think because of lockdown, everyone was in the same boat, so it wasn't that hard to like kind of come to terms with. I think you just had to understand and be mature and be like, we're all in this together and we're all going through the same thing. So
yeah, I think that's the main thing. I think that's how pretty much everyone got through, is knowing that everyone was in exactly the same boat. And did it make you realise, like being apart, did it make you realise one thing about the other person that maybe you hadn't before?
I think it, I mean, I don't know about you, but it definitely made me realise it's like we are, like, I would say for me, like I definitely learned like how to enjoy my own company again. Because it's like, obviously I've spent like 2 years of my life sharing it with someone else, and then it kind of went back to the thing. I was like, oh my god, like what did I used to do when I didn't have like a boyfriend? It was so and like I just found ways to kind of but I feel like it's about you. Like I definitely found that like we know how to give each other space, but we also know like how to comfort one another when like one of us is feeling down, because we definitely had like a few down days during lockdown where it's like, this was, you know, like when is this going to be over?
I think that's very normal for people to have down days throughout lockdown.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think adding on to that, I think like Liv said, it made me realize as well, as much as we love each other's company, like Liv said, it's really important that I think we both have a really good understanding and kind of a healthy thing with boundaries, and just knowing that like just because you're not speaking to someone 24/7 or spending all the time with you doesn't mean they're not there, or doesn't mean that they're not emotionally the same as it was before. So it was quite nice and reassuring that we both could handle space and stuff and deal with it. And I think when we first got to see each other when lockdown eased, it just made it, like I said, it made you realize how good everything was.
And what was the one main thing that you both missed about each other?
I think for me, just like I don't actually realize how much she makes me laugh. Like I just it's dumb little things that shouldn't make me laugh, but I just giggle and laugh all the time. So I think during lockdown I realized how much actually just she makes me laugh and like happy, and that was something that I think when we weren't able to spend the time together, that I didn't laugh as much, which was sad.
Yeah, I probably have to agree. Like we just always have such a good time together. Like it's just constant laughs. Like we wear each other out so much because all we do is just have fun. So yeah, it was definitely that, but also just the fact of like I said before, like having to just rely on myself, and because I feel like I've always been quite an independent person, but then obviously you have to become like codependent, and then so I would just But yeah, definitely the laughter thing. Like I remember like in lockdown, I don't think I literally laughed once. Like honestly, it was just such like a, I mean like everyone, like it was such a depressing time. And like just not being able to like see your friends or hug your friends or like your partner, like it was just rubbish.
And you mentioned about how it made you sort of appreciate the saying, you know, like you appreciate what is it again? You appreciate,
you don't know what you have until it's gone.
yes. So do you think that you've come out now on the stronger side?
Oh, I think I'd say yes. I think it, like I said, it made you realize that the mundane things, even a day that you spend together, you shouldn't take it for granted. And I think another thing that strengthened our relationship, I think we're a lot more that if we have a day that we're together and we haven't got anything planned, as much as I love just spending time not doing anything and just kind of chilling out, I think it's made us realize as well to take those opportunities and go out and do more things and make sure we really spend our time making sure we do as much as we can and we have as much fun as we can. Because I think that's something before lockdown that again you take for granted, that when you can't go anywhere, you realize how much you miss those little things. So I think we've learned to kind of take more opportunities and do more things and stuff like that.
Like since being able to see like more people, we've literally been like non-stop seeing all our friends, like whereas like before maybe it'd be like, oh, like can't really be bothered, where it's like life's too short. And like I was stuck in my bedroom for like 4 months, like take
You want to go outside.
Yeah, so make the most of what you've got. So yeah, I would say.
Did you guys have anything planned that got cancelled? So like any holidays or trips?
We were nothing in concrete, but we were planning.
We were planning on going like on our first proper holiday together, because we go to festivals and stuff, but we weren't going to go to a festival. We were going to go on holiday, so we hadn't booked anything. But it was kind of gutting because obviously that was like what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And even things like our birthdays, like we weren't able to like properly celebrate them, which is sad because it's like we're so used to being so sociable and like seeing everyone, and we didn't get that. So definitely like just celebrations and little things like, you know, you just go out and just like so much time just kind of like wasted, I guess. But obviously everyone was in the same boat. So
but on the flip side of things, my birthday during lockdown, we had a socially distanced birthday, and to be fair, it was one of the best ones I've had in so long, because last year my birthday I went out filming something for university. I didn't get home till like 9. I didn't see my family. I only saw Liv for like an hour before we went to bed, and then during lockdown when she came, her family came, my mum and my family were there. We could all sit together. So to be honest, although some plans do get cancelled and obviously we couldn't go out and have a big celebration, knowing that I had that immediate comfort and I had a day just to spend with my family and relax, that I really enjoyed it. So that as certain things do get cancelled, but sometimes it might be for the better.
I feel like it made us appreciate each other's company way more. And like not everything has to be so extravagant, and it's like you just kind of, you can work with what you've got, and I definitely found that we were able to do that.
It makes you kind of work with what you have, but also appreciate the little things in life, like being able to sit around as a family. You forget how important that is sometimes.
Because like realistically that would never have happened if it was just a normal, like our families, they've met a few times, but they like really bonded that time, and it was just like, if it wasn't
for the lockdown, then they probably would have been at work. I would have probably been at uni or at work or something. So it was really nice that we got the opportunity to have, like you said, you work with what you've got and you appreciate the things, and like as much as a 20th in a club and everyone and all your mates and stuff, it's nice to sometimes just sit back and have a nice relaxed and, like you said, appreciation of the close intimacy of family and just friends and stuff.
And have you now got any plans, like future holidays or anything like that?
I mean, to be honest, we haven't even thought about it, just because like everything, like it's hard to think. You don't know what's happening tomorrow, let alone like in a year.
Still early days.
So I mean, we would definitely like to go on holiday next year, and it's like I definitely want to go to a festival. Like I just want to do everything that I missed out on this year, because it's just, I just feel like this year just doesn't count. Like it's just like, yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I definitely think our first holiday, like we really want to do that.
And with your friends as well, who are in relationships, do you think that they found it, had a similar experience to you, or do you think they found it particularly harder?
Well, my friend, one of my friends, he'd just been in a new relationship that kind of formed just on the peak of lockdown or just before lockdown. So they were like meant to be in their honeymoon, like just started dating phase, but then it took place during lockdown. So like I could really see on his side of things when we used to speak about it, it was just kind of like you could see he was so like desperate and urgent to like see her, but he had to just sit at home. And I can only imagine what that's like, because I know when we first got together, I remember the first couple of weeks being some like the best days ever. They were just so fun and exciting and new. And it was sad to see that he didn't really get the opportunity to have those weeks. But luckily, once lockdown eased and the rules got changed and stuff, when he got to see her, obviously now they're going through the stages of an early relationship, and they've got all the happy fun like honeymoon phase. But yeah, it's crazy to think that relationships still can form in such a crazy environment, but it happens.
With the pandemic going on. Do you think you found it easier because you are in a long-term relationship? Do you think that helped?
Yeah, I think so, because if we look at when we first started dating, the time we used to spend with each other, because I think we're a lot busier now, so I think we're a lot more mature and can handle working around schedules.
Yeah.
But I think before, when we first started dating, it was like immediately like we'd see each other a lot.
It's that honeymoon phase. It's like you just don't want anyone else. Like you just want to be around them, and it's like it's definitely. I mean, I remember saying to you when he first went to uni, and like we went from seeing each other every day to like not at all. That was like I was worried about that, and that was really hard. But yeah, I just think as your relationship goes on, you definitely learn. You learn new things every day, and it's just learning each other's schedules and just having to accept that like you can't be with each other 24/7, but when you are, like you appreciate it so much more.
Do you think if you guys had the option, you would have spent lockdown together, or do you think that would have been too much? You know, some couples have sort of said they're sick of each other.
I think we could have handled it, but at the same time, I wouldn't change it,
definitely not. Like as much as like I love being here and you love being at mine, it's like you love being at your house, and like I wouldn't want to force him to stay at mine for like 4 months, and same with him. And it's just very like I think we're both quite homey people, as much as we're like sociable and always, you know, out. We definitely like our like homes.
Comforts and
like I don't think I would have been sick of you. It's just the fact of like looking back now, it's like I appreciate it so much more, and it's like I feel like I wouldn't have been able to relate at all to sit, because I would have just seen you every day. And yeah.
Well, I'm really glad that you guys had made a positive out of lockdown, and that you've come out even stronger. And thank you very much for your time today.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.